I also think that any gripes creatively with the show are completely valid, Hedlund remarked. That's great. That's a great way to look at things.
Perhaps I treated you too harsh.
That's people's reaction. It's usually their reaction to their own reaction. That's really not a great way to look at it. I totally want you to have your own opinion, but just know that your opinion is probably because you're a shitty person. What?
You know, it's a masterpiece written by a genius.
If it's a good opinion, then you're probably a great person. It's a reflection of you at the end of the day. I'm now a psychologist. But like I said, the show was always a risk. Any show is a risk. Any piece of art is a risk. And especially when you have, tons of lore before it, and you throw in a dead character and change up the whole lore when nobody's supposed to have seen a lightsaber in 1,000 years, a Sith in 1,000 years, you're really starting to muck about stuff that shouldn't be touched. It's the old adage of the first one, through the wall is the bloodiest. Hedlund addressed that what her experience was like seeing the show be attacked by people in the media, including those in Star Wars media. I was not online, Hedlund says. However, I am a Star Wars fan, which means I have always been, since the launch of YouTube, part of the Star Wars recap, criticism, ionization fandom community. These guys I've known for years and years. So when I got the information from others about what the weather report was, there was this real concern from friends of mine or coworkers of mine that saddened me. The show saddened me too.
I've given up trying to argue with you.
I also was like, I know who these guys are. You don't have to tell me who's talking about it or how bad it is online. I know exactly who they are. I supported them on Patreon. Maybe she supported me at one point because I was doing my own film. There are some of them that I respect, and there are some of them that I think are absolutely snake oil salesmen, just opportunists. Then, of course, there are the fascists and racists. So it runs a gamut. It isn't just one thing or the other. Right off the bat, look, let's address what we always address. In every fandom, in every type of world, sect, whatever, there are fascists and racists. There's always going to be extremes on every single side, and I think a extremist of anything is not good. Water is very good for you. You drink too much of it, you can die. All right? Racists, yeah, we don't have any place for that. However, and there's a big however here because it really does matter, the percentage of ists and phobes who call out anything that doesn't have to do with the story or plot or anything like that, but just because they are ists and phobes themselves, is a fraction, 0.1%, if anything.
I was right. Taking over.
And I think it would be really ridiculous to cover 99.9% of people out there who are fans who are coming up with constructive criticism as to why they may not like a piece of art, which has a long-standing level of history and lore and guidelines and things that you have to adhere to brush them all with the same of that 0.1% of ists and phobes. That to me just seems really low IQ because you are not addressing the bigger thing, which is that so many people have actual constructive criticism and good points to make.
We must move quickly. They're relentless.
Right? But you just throw them all under the bus because there's a tiny little fraction out there in the corner that's yelling out into the ether. And all of a sudden, the people who dislike the show just like the ists and phobes do, then all of a sudden they're the same. Come on. Now, the idea of her saying that she supported them, perhaps me, I don't know, on Patreon, maybe with an alias, I don't think really has any sort of credibility here because she was given a $250 million budget to make a show to honor George Lucas's legacy and build upon this beautiful story that he's created, and namely probably one of the most important parts of Star Wars, which is the prequel trilogy. So the idea of supporting on Patreon, I don't see the relevance here. If someone was making a project or you supported someone's content, then that's great, but just because you donate to someone or you send them money, that doesn't mean that they have to shut their mouth then or can't say anything when it comes to something that is so unbelievably important to so many of us. And you calling yourself a Star Wars fan, Leslie, I believe you would understand that no money in the world can buy you unless it's $250 million.
I'm absolutely terrified. I've worked on this for 4 years. It's my baby. I have combed every moment, every performance, every stunt.